Hey there, fellas. Look at this lovely weather. Everything's covered in snow, and that means only one thing. As in, we can try hiding something. You might remember that a while back we buried a few cars underground for a year. And so a thought occurred to us. We did bury those cars, of course, but what if we were to get another one and drown it? Here we have a donor car, I suppose? Anyway, we got ourselves a car, which is... I mean, it's wasted. Its days have definitely come to an end. It does start and run, which we will show you in a second. Alright, so now we load this onto a truck, then we head for the lake and drown the thing. And next year, granted nobody tries to steal it, we'll get the car out and have a look at its condition. We'll obviously try starting it and going for a ride. Okay, so it's all the usual good stuff. So we'll see where this goes. Let's do this. Why did we drown this Lada Samara? As always, translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Quick comment from the translator, guys. The original video was actually uploaded in November of 2017, so you're not gonna have to wait until next year to see part 2. Alright, on with the rest of this video. Alright, fellas. Here we have the car parked in all of its glory. It's even wearing a nice little hat. We tend to get a lot of complaints like, "Hey guys, you could have given that Lada to me." Let me just say something here. Okay, even though we are talking about a Lada, which is only 20 years old, it actually looks pretty good for a car this age. It has ventilation going on everywhere, with the bodywork being riddled with holes and everything. Amazingly, the gearbox here is so noisy that even Zeal drivers would be surprised at how quiet their trucks work. Anyway, I took a ride in this car for as long as it was able to drive. The motor works, despite a few hiccups and some smoke. But for a 20-year-old Lada, this is actually pretty good. Let me just say, this car rocks. Here's another thing. You can't even get this car registered. And it's carrying fines worth 3 times the cost of the car itself. There's a good reason why this car is now in our hands. It's on its last journey, but we will let the guys who broke the rules deal with all these fines. Alright, so what have we got here? The car does start, and I did mention the gearbox for a good reason. Let me just start the motor, and hopefully you guys hear it for yourselves. Okay, so I'm not quite sure you'll be able to hear this, but we do have a very pleasant noise going on. Really fitting for a Lada. The sort of noise which tells you that something's about to fall off. At least the engine works. That's really good to know. As you might remember, whatever we do to try to kill them, I'm trying to say that they're quite well made. If you were to modify these motors a bit, they'd happily chug along for decades. Aw man, that noise hurts my feelings. Alright, so even though we intend on drowning this thing in a pond with technical water, in order to keep the environment safe, we will be draining all the fluids. Only then are we going to put this thing in the water. Let's do this. Alright, fellas, so we've drained all the fluids out, including the fuel supply and everything. We even removed the coolant. There actually wasn't too much of it there in the first place. Seems like it's evacuated on its own over time. Anyway, that's not the point. The evening is actually upon us. So for now, we're gonna go home and get some sleep. Tomorrow morning, we'll put the car on a flatbed. Then we're gonna take it to that technical water pond. After that, we're gonna place it underwater until next summer rolls around. Don't go anywhere. Alright fellas, so we've made it to the spot where this car is going to be going for a swim. Anyway, so we've tied a regular rolled rope to the car, a high quality one. We tied the other end to this hook, which we used to test out some packaging material a while back, including some bubble wrap. I reckon it would be more fun if we dropped the car into the lake instead of slowly immersing it. We seem to be looking pretty good, but I just had a thought. Maybe we should deflate the tires while we're at it. I don't really know why. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the air out. I've already thrown the spare tire in the bin. Maybe we should open the fuel filler cap. I don't really see the point of puncturing it, for example. Although I'm pretty sure it'll sink to the bottom anyway, given that this rust bucket is full of holes. Anyway, enough talk. Let's do this. Alright guys, we've made it to the end of our little experiment. We'll pick this up next year. The water isn't too deep, but the car still went in all the way. This should actually turn out to be pretty good. We might see some ice, which will probably pick the car apart. Anyway, we'll see. We'll just let it sit here until next year. In the meantime, it'll freeze up and become a nesting ground for fish. Anyway, that's it for today. Watch our videos, leave some comments and suggestions, subscribe. See you later, fellas!